Alright, American people, there's some things I really gotta say, and this could go everywhere too, but it's got good lessons in it. The NIH is with all the contracts to the colleges with the biolabs, okay? These biolabs are bad. You see what they did with Wuhan, alright? They have that bat thing in Colorado. That's like the government, and like Pete Hegseth is like the military, like people who know what's really going on. They call that like it's like Wuhan too, and it's in our own country. We can't have this. Okay, we gave $47.2 billion this year to the NIH. This year, I'm assuming it's close to that every year. It probably is. Just like the CDC was getting 10 billion in tax appropriations from our money every year, and it would be close to 10 billion, somewhere in that range. Well, this year the NIH got 47.2 billion. Temple University, Berkeley, a whole bunch of colleges, they have labs, and the whole thing is like a rat line contract system. Talk about Ponzi scams, racketeering. Okay, this is often fake science or science they already know what'll happen, so you don't have to test it again. Just like with what the Nazis and the Antifa in the past, with the Russians and the German experiments and all the evil, you know, what happens when you inject retarded people, a school full of retarded people with plutonium? Like, we know what's going to happen. They're going to get sick and act even crazier, and some of them might die if God permits that. They did things like that. You can look it up. Okay, there's certain things that don't need to be done because it's insane. Like, what would happen if I could think of the most disgusting, evil, satanic shit to torture somebody and some animal? Ugh. Like what they were doing with the snake, the fake snake camera put in front of the animal's eyes, and then the cutting open their heads and making remote control like buttons where they're trying to just they're trying to make robots out of things, and they're also trying to diminish them and just destroy them and defile them. It's like torture porn, and it's on animals. And then the ones that actually know what they're doing that are evil, they only try to make things. God said they manufacture pestilences, and they try to make viruses and cancer patented. There's patented cancers. The military is well aware of it because they were involved. The Vatican is well aware of it at the higher level because they were involved and they were purchasing stuff like that, and they were experimenting on some of their own nuns with it, and their nuns have confessed online, and you can look for that too. And P. Diddy, that girl, what was it, that he might have been involved in killing, Brittany Murphy, she died. Like the way that his ex-wife died, like the way there was some other celebrity guy that died, they all died. You know, the Edward Winter, the coroner, said, "Oh, there's no evidence here of murder, so and no one suspects it." But common sense is to suspect it. This is a celebrity. Often murder could be the reason they died. Well, they do a blood test, and it only checks for a short range of substances and only in a period of time. But if it's a slow kill poison, you have to do a hair follicle test. And so that girl's dad had her dug up and had an autopsy done with a hair follicle test, and found out there was a lot more substances that didn't come up in the blood test, and some of them were military patented chemicals and heavy metals and all kinds of stuff too. Again, there's been a problem. The Navy's been selling bombs to the deep state in Indiana. George Webb revealed that online. I mean, look, we can't have this infiltration and enemies in our own military and government anymore. And the NIH is $47.2 billion a year. NASA only got close to half of that. A little more than half of 47.2. It's like having two other NASAs so that they can do their animal snuff torture porn and try to make things to use against us just to annoy us. Because that's all they do. Ooh, we don't want to come up. We don't want to look at ourselves and get better and control ourselves. We want to try to control everyone else. So they'll try to hit you with witch poisons and pestilences, but they think they have a right to hurt all these animals in the background do it. Never mind, humans had been experimented on over the years too, dealing with Parsa versus Google et al., Obama, China, DeepMind, AI, Neuralink, da-da-da-da-da, the list goes on and on and on. Concentration camps running in China, illegal biolabs, and slavery. Okay? Rapes and murders, it's unlimited, it says on the court case paper. Alright? It's pretty crazy. The point is, I'm not paying for this shit. This shit has to be completely abolished and taken out. Okay? $47.2 billion. I live in a camper in these ladies' yard. And I can't even afford rent in my own whole county. The rents are up so high for apartments. There's no studio apartment to get around here. There's no garages to rent or little shacks or nothing. No. So I was living in a tent until they got me this camper. Okay, in their yard. And I live like this while the NIH and all the biolabs satanic whack job cult that like to torture things and try to make pestilences against us and witch cocktails. You know what they've done to these animals? You can look at White Coat Waste Project, which I donate to, and they're way better than PETA. PETA's a joke. Because PETA's just playing good cop, bad cop with them. Oh, as long as they're around, we'll be around making money on our end. But they never fought the fight enough to actually get rid of it. White Coat Waste Project actually gives a shit and uses your money right. Look up on their website, and if you want to research what's been going on with all these biolabs and who's been involved, and you can look up all the government contracts on the government websites and watch all the contracts the government does with whack jobs in the background, because it's actually public information. Alright? $47.2 billion this year, guys. It's like 2 other NASAs went to the NIH to contract out all the money through a contract. It's a grant system. They grant, they put their ideas up on the NIH website. Who wants to do the most evil? They pick who gets awarded, and then they give them a bunch of money. And you don't think all their office people and people in between are taking money out of it too? And you see what they did with the daycares and the fake daycares and the shell companies and all this shit. I wish they were doing it fake and it was all shell companies and fake shit with the NIH. I wish they were all just stealing the money, but they've actually been torturing these animals, and it's horror. It's worse. It's as bad as Jesus on the cross, and it's part of his cross, because he's lived through all things. And the animals, like St. Paul said, are innocent. So they have a business of torturing the innocent, not to help us. This wicked science community has had known medicines and cures for things that they've intentionally used. They infiltrate